still surprised that you can't see Mr. Potato Head when you look at me.
You're a mess. You do not look like that.
If you look at my face right now, like, look, I literally look like Mr. Potato Head from Toy Story. Anyways.
Let's just get into the video.
All right, we have a lot to talk about, but first.
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back to channel 1. Tori and I are just recovering from our 2-week trip to Texas.
With our baby.
It was Micah's first big trip, and boy, do we have a lot to share.
Yes, it's story time.
My hand is trapped. I need my hand.
How did that happen?
Well, I don't know how my hand got trapped over there.
You're so awkward. Also, sorry if it's windy, you guys. It's so nice outside right now. So I told Chad, I'm like, can we go outside and film this? Because it's just like beautiful in Florida today. It doesn't happen all the time.
Nice.
Normally it's like so hot or like randomly cold. So the fact that it feels nice. Anyways,
all right, so we went to Dallas, we went to Waco, we went to Houston, and then we went to Austin. So we pretty much hit Texas.
Yeah.
We just didn't hit like the farm town whole thing, Texas, which we definitely want to do.
Yeah, it was more like the cities.
Because the cities were like, Texas is big.
The traffic, my lord.
It is nuts. But we have a story time for you all, and we're just going to start with traveling there. First time traveling with the baby.
We don't know how we feel. Yes.
A lot of people gave advice.
All of which was great advice.
Really sweet advice.
And none of which actually worked for us.
Yep. Honestly, let that be a lesson that you're on your own journey. Fend for yourself.
Every kid is different. I will say, everyone said like this is the easiest age to travel with baby, and I'm not saying that it might not be. We haven't hit any other stage of baby yet.
Yeah. So far, this was the hardest age for us to travel.
Yeah. We weren't used to having to carry like that amount of bags with the strollers.
When you say we,
Chad wasn't used to carrying that many bags, and I wasn't used to packing for 2 people. But
she also had to carry Micah everywhere, so you had a lot to carry.
Yeah, I definitely carry like the 16-pound weight on me all the time. But yeah, he didn't sleep on the plane. We have a couple little clips that we will show you guys. He's been passed out for like 20 minutes, so let's pray he stays asleep. Melina's advice, the last one to board. That didn't work.
It did work. Ask them. Comment if it worked. We transitioned. Just like we transitioned from Tampa, Florida to Dallas, Texas, and now what are we in Dallas for?
We were in Dallas for the EXO Grapevine Dallas EXO Marriage Conference, but it was just a crazy, incredible experience because I know we've shared this before on the channel, but last year, in between the Dallas Grapevine Conference and the Houston one, Chad and I had just hit 1 year of trying to conceive. We were sharing that. We were sharing what God was teaching with us. I had that revelation with the Lord that we shared in the God story behind us getting pregnant. We'll link that for you guys if you missed that video. But going back with Micah was incredibly special.
It was definitely full circle.
Yeah.
And just the conference alone, the Grapevine Dallas conference for EXO is like the Super Bowl of their conferences, and so they pull out all the cards. What is that quote?
All the stops.
They pull out all the stops.
I think.
And Tori and I, we did a live podcast. So one thing about EXO conferences is not only do they have a ton of t-shirts, they also have live podcasting with the #1 marriage podcast, the Naked Marriage podcast with Dave Nash. We hosted a big Q&A panel where it was like equally funny as it was deep and thoughtful.
We always say this about EXO Marriage, but these conferences are what we wish we would have had when we were single, when we were dating, when we were engaged. It's like everything that they teach, we wish we would have known before marriage. And going back every year, we gain so much wisdom, so much knowledge, so much insight, and like practical advice that we can actually apply to our daily lives, which is...
It's like stuff on like conflict management. It's stuff like, this is going to sound weird, but just deal with it because it needs to be talked about. It's like healthy sex habits, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's different things that I think as a married couple, you're afraid to talk about because you don't want people to know you're fighting. You don't want them to know if you're not being as intimate together. And so this just kind of breaks down the walls and just helps people have healthy relationships.
Yeah.
But overall, it was incredible. And if you guys want to access all the different teachings, they have it on their website and their app, XO Now. You can sign up and get access to all those.
Yeah, and you can still use our code MastersFan for 50% off any of their conferences throughout the rest of the year and XO Now. And I'm telling you guys, you need to go back and watch the sermons from conference this year, because I've already gone back and watched them a couple times, because I've just never thought of certain things the way that they were explaining them, and it just felt like so many light bulbs went off.
The ones that really stuck out to me were the ones on generational iniquities is what the teacher used to talk about them, but we sometimes talk about them as like generational curses, and about how you can change the lineage and path of your family. And so there's so much there, but
oh my gosh, we probably should do an entire video just on all the relationship advice that we gained from the conference, because I feel like I could just talk right now for 30 minutes, but we want to continue story time.
Oh my gosh, is that your elbow? Okay, so the transition game is kind of on point. The next thing we did is we actually had a break. So the reason why we were in Texas for so long is because, is this angle flattering? How about now? The reason why we were in Texas for so long is because typically XO would bring us out to Dallas, then fly us back home, and then bring us back to Houston, fly us back, and then I would fly out for my men's group, which is in Austin. But us as a family now, we're just like, no, let's just go to Texas and stay.
Yeah.
And so the next few days we had a break where we were just recording podcasts in the Airbnb, which honestly we got duped on. This Airbnb.
We got bamboozled, y'all.
I just know some funny timing things, right? As Micah's getting ready to try to go to sleep, and he's having a harder time right now. So Tori's pushing him in the Airbnb. The Airbnb's been breaking a lot. Lots of like flooding bathtub. The electric isn't working, and so there's electricity guys here for the past few days, and they just happen to be here drilling when we're trying to put them to sleep. I have one particular story I want to share from our break.
Okay.
There's a few. One of those, actually I have two stories. The first one's really quick. Micah would not, yes, my neck is killing me. Will you lay down with me? How about this? Is that okay?
Now I look like Mrs. Potato Head.
So the first thing is Micah was having trouble sleeping in a new area, and it was so loud at the Airbnb. And so we had to make a circuit to push him in a stroller inside of the Airbnb. But the second story that I thought was so much fun was that I had this dream, and there's something you should know about me. Tori will attest to this. I'm a dreamer. I have certain experiences, or I have certain dreams that I just would love to have in my life. One of those, one of a few, is I want to be driving around in a city, and I want to see just this busted up Porsche in someone's yard. This is torn down car. It's old. It's like 1970s, 1980s, you know, and it needs a lot of love. And I want to go knock on the person's door, and I want to buy it from them. And guess what? So there's this beautiful wide body Porsche back there. Anyways, that was fun. I got the guy's number. It's much higher than what I thought the number was going to be. And we didn't buy it. It's too expensive. That's not happening.
Babe, at least half your dream came true.
Yeah, that really made me feel better. Thank you for saying that. All right, we're gonna transition again. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay.
I really hurt my leg on the way to this transition.
My poor baby. She's being a clumsy Claudia right now.
Anyways, next we went to Magnolia with Chad's mama, and it was so sweet. I don't know what was going on, but there was like no one there that day. It was so peaceful.
I rented it out.
But we went to Magnolia Table, which was so delicious. We walked around. I got my new favorite purse. I was honestly expecting to go to Magnolia and not really want to buy anything because we're not in like home decor mode right now. But they got new shops since we went.
Yes, they have all new stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like the perfect little village. They have this really old church, and this, like, there's an area where you can go to different food trucks and buy food. You can go play with kids, or they even have like a kickball or wiffle ball little area.
Yeah.
And one of the best parts about going there, well, two parts. Number one, we actually took my mom for her birthday. That was her 60th birthday gift.
Yeah.
And she actually flew into Texas to help us with Micah at the EXO Marriage Conference. And it just happened to work out where my mom's interior designer and she loves everything about that. So she got to live her best life for a few days there. But then we also got to see one of our patrons, Harley.
Yes.
Here with
Hi guys!
Harley. Are you from Waco?
Yes.
Born and raised here. How much has it changed since you've been here?
Really a lot. Y'all,
Insane.
there was nothing here before.
And now there's so much here.
Yes.
And she got to hold Micah, and it was so good to meet her in person because she's very active on all of our chats. And so that was a lot of fun to see her face. And yeah.
So much fun. What a beautiful day.
Tell them about the next chapter, babe.
What are you doing?
Next thing, what happened is we had our first date in like 5 months. Going on first date night. Tori's very nervous. You gonna miss us, Bubba? You gonna miss us? He's like, I'm gonna nap. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna nap and go to the bathroom again. Then I'm gonna eat.
No.
You okay?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Bye, Bubba. So, babe, how you feeling? Not good?
Bye. Yes, and it was like so needed. We went and met up with our friends Michelle and Aiden and had like a little appetizer situation. Then we walked across the street and the whole area was so beautiful. It was the first like nice dinner we had, and Dave and Ashley, who actually speak at EXO, helped us get a reservation.
Yeah.
And the food was like,
it was incredible.
Wow.
Tori won the whole food battle. She definitely, like her order, there was these scallops that just will literally change your life. But shout out to Dave and Ashley Willis. They actually have like the biggest marriage podcast called
the Naked Marriage Podcast.
The Naked Marriage Podcast. And so we'll link that below if you want to check it out.
Mama's here, Dada's here. Hey, Dada.
Oh. He said, Mama, where have you been the past 3 hours? Tori thought about him the whole time.
Next up,
Houston, Texas, we have not a problem. We took my mom to the airport and then we picked up Kelly, who helps us. I'm sure you guys have seen her before. She was gonna fly in and help us in Houston because she's gonna take some content for us. And we just had the best time. And this time at the Airbnb, we did not get duped.
it was stunning. Okay, and then at the Houston EXO conference, it was really special for us because number one, we actually got to bring Micah on stage with us.
Yeah.
It's a fun memory from our proposal, babe.
I definitely have a lot of fun memories. I think I blacked out during the actual proposal. And as we're walking up, she says, oh babe, there's a camera there. We can't go over there. I'm like, really?
someone was taking
There's
a
a
video."
camera. There's a camera there. What are the odds? And so she's like, no, we really can't. I'm like, yes, we can. I had to literally yank her to the spot. And I had this whole speech ready. I think it's gonna be romantic and passionate. And then she just started making out with me. I'm not joking. She started making out with me.
Well, you got down on one knee and I'm like, I know what's happening, so like, yes, and I just want to like make out now, I guess.
She never officially said yes, so I'm still kind of wondering, are we married? But now we're at a marriage conference, so I don't know if we need help. If you could pray for us, that'd be really kind of you. Thank you.
I didn't throw
Good
up.
job, Michael James, first time on stage.
I didn't cry. I almost did. I
Oh,
really
did. I saw you. You were like, oh.
Boy, I cry quick. I'm a crier.
Which was a blast. It was nerve-wracking, but it was that, like, it solidified that full circle moment for us. And then two, I felt like we were actually able to sit in on more of
The teachings, yeah.
Because the first conference, I was like going back and forth, and it was first conference with baby, so I feel like I was a little bit more like scatterbrained of just like making sure everything was good. But the second one, we got to sit in more, and we also got to meet a ton of you. We were able to like pray with some of you guys, and so
I was shocked by how stellar you guys are. Not that I didn't already expect that, but Tori and I don't get to meet you all as frequently. And like there is this one, I mean, there's a sweet young couple. They've been married like no time at all, but they flew in from Southern California.
Yeah.
And there was another couple who flew in, I think, from Chicago, and like,
Yeah.
I think she's in PA school and he's like, going to be a chiropractor. I'm like, look at you guys, so young, married for a year and a half and flying in to work on, like, just to continue investing in this.
Yeah.
Like, this is incredible. But I do have an embarrassing moment. But I accidentally called Tori mom on stage. And I think I saved it. Do you think I saved it? I saved it by calling myself daddy. Okay.
We're back outside.
Back outside.
And next
up, we had a road trip to Getting Weird in Austin, Texas. I guess that's the phrase they use. Let's get weird, which is kind of a weird motto. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Austin's interesting. I'll say that.
It was very interesting.
Yeah.
It's a very vibrant city. Lots of cool food, and a lot of interesting, cool people. But it was honestly felt like I don't want to say whiplash.
Yeah.
But like we got in and then literally had to record a couple of podcasts. Then I went to my men's group. So I was staying at a different hotel. So got Tori all set up. Her and Milena were staying at that hotel. And then Jordan and I were with the other guys at my men's mastermind group where we spent 3 days just learning amazing tips on how to be a great follower of Christ, how to be a great husband, how to be a good father, and also how to excel in work. And so that's kind of what we focus on, is like integrating all those things together. And it's so impactful. We are going to make content on all the stuff that we learned at the EXO marriage conferences and on my mastermind group.
Yes.
But like,
We're still processing.
yeah, I don't have a ton of footage of this, but there's 2 things I do. My bunkmate Arden and we had a bird fly into our room.
He's probably so scared. Come here, give me your hat.
Bro, can you catch it?
Give me your hat.
Catch it. Here you go.
Wait, let's use a pillow.
Oh God!
Let's use one of your pillows. Hey, wait, come on. Wait, don't.
No, you said don't scare him? What
What
are you talking about? He's petrified. He's gonna crap in your bed.
Oh, he's gonna crap on your bed. He's up on top of it right now. Goodness. Hey, come here.
Dude, what are you gonna do with the pillow?
I'm trying to get him to land on it.
Your hair looks like a bird's nest. This could be great.
There we go. Thank you.
Which is hysterical. And then also at the very end of the mastermind group, Tori brought Micah to meet all the guys that were praying with us to get pregnant. And so it was just so sweet. Also, they were all experts at holding him.
Oh, yeah. It was wild because he fell asleep in Chad Cannon's arms. And, like, he's never fallen asleep like that. Ever.
I don't know
and we
how
were
people do it.
literally shocked. I kept looking around, like, where is Micah? Who's holding him right now? And he's just, like, chilling with all these different guys who are, like, pro dads. I don't know what's going on.
Well, all
but it
these
was so
guys
fun.
have, like, so one of the guys, Reggie, I love Reggie so much. He just had babies 5 and 6,
Yes.
twins.
Yeah.
But they're able to have a significant number of children and it not deteriorate their family life.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm so excited to continue to learn from these guys. But what did you do while I was gone?
Well, it was my first time, like, being with Micah alone without you overnight for 2 days. And honestly, by God's grace, he was so good. And Milena and I went to Waco. We got to explore Austin a little bit. Like, we just had fun, like, mom, baby days. I mean, it was like us with the 4 kids just like rocking it, and we had a blast. But I missed you a lot. It was definitely like Chad and I are normally together all the time. And so he was only like 3 minutes down the road. Like, literally his place was on the same
I could
street.
see it.
But we weren't actually together. And so it was kind of sweet to just like text and be like, I miss you. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
to see
she was
you.
tend to send me bad pictures and stuff. And so, it's just one of those things. But anyways.
You love your dad? Can you see him? Yeah. Oh, you think he's funny? I give you little tickles. Yeah.
So the last thing that we did is we traveled back. Traveling back was an experience, and I think it went well. But it's so much luggage to carry.
Yeah.
And just like getting the rental car back, how to return the car seat base, or all this stuff.
It's definitely different traveling. But the funniest part was after the 2 weeks that we were gone, We get home and we're locked out of our house. So close, but so far away.
My fault.
But it's fine because
It's
it was
fine.
a little coincidence. The guy who helped us get back into the house was a believer. They ended up having like a full-blown prayer session in the
Yeah.
garage.
Yeah, it was like
And
9
so-
p.m. and we ordered Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And we were just really encouraging each other. He actually texted me today.
Aw, cute.
Yeah, so just really excited. I was sharing with him a lot of stuff I was learning, and he was like, "Oh, I got to hear more about this." So,
Yeah.
a cool coincidence about being open. So let that just be a quick little lesson right there about what may sound like a burden could be a blessing. So,
Maybe the detour was the path you were always supposed to be on.
this is the way that God wanted you to go. That's it.
That's the end of the story time, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. We love y'all.
We love you.
See you in the next video.
Oh, and if you guys want any of the EXO marriage
yes, content.
go to exonow.com and use code MastersFan for 50% off pretty much anything, and that's
Yeah.
including books and to watch the conference, to stream it, or to even go to one of the upcoming conferences.
Yes.
You don't have to be married to consume their content. It's
No.
incredible. We wish we knew this stuff before, but anyways, we love you guys.
See you in the next video.
Do 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 do. Too fast, I know.